I'm like melting in this room, it's really hot. It's great to be back. I have not posted in a really long time, and that is because I've been going through a lot of mental health things. I've also been recovering from 2.5 weeks of tonsillitis. Basically, long story short, my mum went into the grocery shop, someone there had plague and gave it to her, and then it spread around the entire house. I got it the worst. I was throwing up nothing but water. My body was not accepting food. I lost my voice for 4 days. My body went from palm trees to sudden death. It got to at one point where I was like, do I need to check myself into a fucking hospital? Because my chest, I was coughing up all types of mucus, and yeah, it was a really bad situation, but I am better now. Hey, it's Mel, hope you're doing well, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is episode 1 of Movie Mayhem, a new series on the channel which focuses on behind the scenes injuries, alleged cursed films, scandals and much more. I'm really excited, I hope you guys like it, and with that being said, let's get into it. The Wizard of Oz 1939 was directed by Victor Fleming, and it was released at the end of the Great Depression, and it put a smile on people's faces. It was a family musical film. It was produced by MGM, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Eventually, Warner Brothers bought the rights to the film. The film was adapted from L. Frank Baum's novel from 1900 called The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. It starred Judy Garland as Dorothy Gale. At the time, she was 16 years old, and this film made her worldwide famous. Production ran for over 6 months from October 1938 to March 1939. What Judy went through on set was tragic and caused trauma. Most of the cast worked 6 days a week and were on set from 4 AM to 7 PM. They were overworked and also had to be put in makeup and costumes, which took a while. The film was made at a time when the well-being of an actor was the lowest priority on a studio's list. Judy was casted in 1938 when she was in high school. The filmmakers wanted her to seem more like a child than a woman. They put her hair in ponytails and pigtails. She was put on a very strict diet so that she would lose the curves that she had and have a more childlike figure, which is creepy and weird. Like, I get it's a family musical film, but why not just cast a child actor if that's the case? The costume designers bound Judy's chest under her dress, making her chest appear flat. This was really painful. Her diet involved cigs, black coffee and chicken soup. She was having 80 cigs a day and lost weight by force for the role. People even thought that she was fat, which is insane. Even the Scarecrow actor Ray Bolger made comments about Judy's plump appearance. Judy and her co-stars were treated terribly. They were constantly being given pills and denied sleep while making the film. They were put on cycles of pep pills to keep them awake and energized, and then given drugs at night when they were finally allowed to sleep, to force them to come down. They were also forced to film for hours without a break, and the drugs stopped them from feeling exhausted, in addition to suppressing Judy's appetite. After filming each night, Judy and the cast were taken to the hospital where they were knocked out with sleeping pills. Judy was also harassed by the filmmakers on set. People would try to look up her skirt. 7 of the cast members were injured during filming. Multiple crew members also became sick or fainted under the studio lights, which were purposefully kept at high temperatures to achieve the desired effect. Sadly, Judy's mum wasn't there to support her through this whole ordeal. Her mum Ethel was a controlling stage mum. Ethel put Judy on amphetamine pills to induce weight loss. Soon after Judy signed her contract with MGM, her dad died and she was left in the total care of her mother. Judy later described her mum as, quote, the real Wicked Witch of the West, end quote. Actor Buddy Ebsen was originally casted to play the Tin Man, but his silver makeup, which was made from pure aluminium dust, made him really sick. He was poisoned. 9 days after filming began, he was hospitalised, sitting under an oxygen tent. He spent weeks in hospital barely able to breathe and suffering muscle contractions. He was replaced by Jack Haley. The makeup artist mixed the aluminium into a paste and painted it on him. Jack did develop an infection in his right eye that needed medical attention, but it turned out to be treatable. The Tin Man costume was so stiff that the only way Jack got to rest was by using a leaning board. Like, the man couldn't sit down. Burt Lahr played the Cowardly Lion, and his costume weighed a ton. It was also made from real lion hair, which is bad, very upsetting, but then again, these were different times. With his heavy costume and the hot studio lights, Burt got overheated. Scarecrow actor Ray was left with burlap scars around his face. After taking off the rubber prosthetic mask that he wore on set, the scars lasted a year. Ray felt he was suffocating in his mask. Also, an actor who played one of the Wicked Witch's soldiers accidentally jumped on top of Toto, Dorothy's dog. The dog was a female called Terry. It sprained its foot and dog trainer Carl Spitz had to get a canine double. Terry did recover and returned to set a few weeks later. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch, she suffered the most physically. The green paint that was used on her skin was made from powdered copper, which rendered it highly flammable and so toxic that Margaret couldn't risk eating or drinking except through a straw while she was made up. Her stunt double was Betty Danko. Margaret was severely burned on the 23rd of December. She suffered a 2nd-degree burn on her face and a 3rd-degree burn on her hand during a second take of her fiery exit from Munchkinland, in which the trapdoor's drop was delayed to eliminate the brief glimpse of it seen in the final edit. Margaret understandably then had her stunt double do the fiery scenes, but she too got burned. Betty was severely burned when she sat on a smoking pipe that was meant to look like the witch's smoking broomstick. The pipe exploded and she spent 11 days in the hospital, which resulted in permanent leg scarring. Margaret spent 6 weeks recovering from her burns. The Tin Man and Scarecrow made 6 times that of Judy, with $3,000 per week. The Cowardly Lion got $2,500. The Wicked Witch only got $1,000 weekly, and Judy only got $500 a week, which is insane because she's the star of the show. But to me, the fact that the Wicked Witch and Judy got the lowest pay from the film is not that shocking because they're women. It's 1930s. Women's rights pretty much didn't exist. Of course, the male cast would get the high pay. Absolute BS. The snow in the poppy scene was pure asbestos crystallized fibres. Even breathing it is dangerous. Trapped fibres can cause scarring, cancer, genetic damage and lung inflammation. All cast members were not allowed to eat in the set cafeteria in their costumes because filmmakers found it disgusting. I don't understand that. They're just trying to eat lunch. And not to mention the Tin Man can't even sit down. He's just standing at a table. Like, the mistreatment of these cast members is disgusting. There's also a big rumour of a Munchkin actor who committed suicide by hanging himself in the background of the film while the rest of the cast is walking down the yellow brick road. This is not true. It was actually an exotic bird that flew on set. 2 actors playing flying monkeys crashed to the ground after the wires that hosted them up broke and Betty injured her left leg. Judy, during the lion's introduction scene to stop her laughing, was slapped in the face by the director Victor Fleming. How dare? It just gets worse, it really does. All the main cast is now gone, they've passed away. The last Munchkin actor, Jerry Maran, died at the age of 99 in 2018. Judy's trademark was the song Over the Rainbow. The film made $29.7 million. The film had many directors, which was hard for the cast. Victor left production to take over the troubled film Gone with the Wind. After 15 years with MGM Studios, Judy left in September 1950. She died on the 22nd of June 1969 in London at age 47 of an accidental drug overdose. The Wizard of Oz was made 85 years ago and still today it remains a beloved classic. Over the years, various props and costumes have disappeared or even been destroyed. Someone actually stole Dorothy's ruby red shoes. They're now in the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. The shoes were designed by Gilbert Adrian. On TV, the film grew in popularity, but when it was released in cinemas, it didn't actually do too good. The film was released when World War II began, and that affected ticket sales. The Wizard of Oz is known as one of the most cursed films in history. And I do see why. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and also leave a comment down below what you think about all this. Do you think it's simply just a coincidence, or is it actually a curse? I find this stuff really interesting, and I hope you guys enjoy the new series. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.